So this time on Digimon Data Squad, Yoshino gets sick and then infects a kid.
Yeah, we never get an explanation either. They get out of the fight with Metal Phantomon, and then Yoshino is just sick.
Yeah, they say something out like, oh, maybe it's like the stress or something. Maybe it's like weakened her. It's most things where it's like there's no real explanation, but I'm gonna be real, I don't think you really needed much of one.
Well, they debunk the stress thing because that's ridiculous. She's clearly like
Yeah.
physically sick with a digital virus.
Yeah, it's possible that the stress did let the digital virus, like, get past her immune system or something, but, no, it's hard to say.
I think it's a plot virus. I don't think it's...
It really is, but either way.
They needed a reason to get the antagonist to be like, okay, let's start maybe becoming good guys soon.
Man. Looking back, I also want to say, like, at first I was like, okay, this is gonna be Yoshino's evolution episode, right? Turns out wrong, it's not. So I'm just like, oh, well, if she's going to be sick anyways, like, if one of us has to be sick, then why not let Yoshino go out and, like, get some, play, right? Why not let her actually do something and, like, prove herself as a character?
Nah, Yoshino has to be the damsel in distress.
Ah, that's a shame. Ah, well. Because it's like,
there's a bit of a red herring in the title where it's like, oh yeah, it's about Blossomon. Is this gonna be Sunflowermon's evolution? No.
I'm going real. I read that and for some reason I'm like, oh heck yeah, we're getting that one. And I was thinking of a completely different Digimon. Because I know what the ultimate is, and I'm like, oh, it's where this happens. And it's like, oh, alright. This is gonna be a weird one.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yoshino's sick. We learn that Toma has a doctorate, which is wild.
Yeah, they have a fun little gag where, Toma's like just taking care of her, and like Galmon and Agumon and Masaru are just outside the cave, and they're like, wait, why are we stuck out here? And Galmon's like, oh well, Yoshino's a lady, she needs her privacy. It's like, wait, but Toma's in here, and it's like, yeah, he's a doctor. He's like trained in medicine.
Toma's a professional.
Yeah. Toma we trust, Masaru we don't.
Yeah. Also, and like, so they go and it's like, we need to find a cure for the virus or whatever. And the dumb kid and his Digimon, the Falcomon, show up and it's like, hey, she's sick, let's kill her. They don't say that, but that's clearly what they came here to do.
Yeah. I don't think he was going to kill her. He's just here to, like, intimidate them, right? Like, maybe take a hostage or something.
I guess, I don't know, but it's just like, hey, you're alone, right? It's like, yeah, these guys are scumbags.
Because I imagine it's like, if they want to kill her, it's like, alright, she's just right there, just start throwing kunai. But instead, he, like, grabs her by, like, the shirt collar. He's like, hey, get out of the digital world, leave us alone.
It's like she's freaking sick, you maniacs.
Yeah.
To be fair, he
does look like he's like 10 or something. He looks like he's 12.
I'm still gonna call him a stupid kid.
Yeah, he really is. Man, I'm so ready for Akuto to have a good character arc because I can feel it. I can feel it coming.
I mean, it's just gonna be kid raised by wolves. Like, yeah. I'm not, and like, why does he talk like a caveman? The Digimon speak normally.
Man, I'm gonna be real, and this is gonna be so dumb. Yeah, I've been working on that fan fiction.
Yeah.
I was just singing, I think this is like before Ko was introduced. I'm like, what would be fun? I'd tell like a character who just shows up and they're the whole Digimon tamer raised by wolves thing, and they're like a Tarzan knockoff. And
Oh no.
and the Digimon are just like, yeah, I don't know why he does that, and everyone just sort of looks at him and he's like, oh, like it's an act.
It's like, wait, why would you talk? What?
He's like,
No,
me
for real,
no
though.
understand,
No, for real though. Why does he talk like that?
Oh man. No, there's probably never gonna be an explanation.
I'm chalking it up to brain damage until they say otherwise.
I don't know, maybe he just has a weird speech impairment and no one ever really corrected it or like cared, so it just persisted.
I think the writers just wanted their Tarzan-like character and didn't think of the fact that Digimon speak normally.
Yeah, they just wanted Ninja Tarzan, and you know what? I'm all here for it. But yeah, so Yoshino infects a child, and everyone's like, oh crap, now we're all in trouble. And it's like, here's the thing. This is very plot convenient, but I'm okay with it. Because it's like, you know what? This is a good way to just make this happen, progress this. It's like, you know what? Fair enough.
Yeah.
I can't say the same for what I'm going to talk about Ghost Game.
Yeah, Toma and Masaru show up back to the cave as like they're confronting sick Yoshino, and Masaru is like, "You cowards, attacking a sick lady while she's unguarded, blah blah blah." And then the thing where she grabs Ikuto happens, and then he gets sick because you can just transfer the virus just like that.
Yeah, makes sense. It's like a weird digital, like, actual computer virus. It's like, alright, yeah, works on its own rules, whatever.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. Also, I do want to mention, like, freaking she gets him sick and Falcomon carries Akuto off, and we see a quick flashback with, like, Frigimon. It's like, oh yeah, he used to be taken care of by Frigimon because he was super sickly all the time. And I'm like, okay, what happened to Frigimon? And it seems like the implication is Frigimon probably died.
I mean, at this point, it's an implication. Falcomon straight up says it later.
Yeah, like, they probably died and they're probably killed by humans.
Yeah.
That seems to be directly what's going on here. It's like humans somehow killed Frigimon. And it's like, okay, that's not good. If that's what's going on here, then, like, I feel like we're gonna get a lot of emotional stuff with Akuto. I think he's gonna have a good big backstory of, like, oh, no, but, Frigimon took care of me and all this stuff, and you horrible humans, like, made her, like, go crazy and then murdered her, and it's gonna show Masaru's dad or something as, like, a villain. It's gonna be, like, how he sees it.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see when it happens.
Yeah. Right, that's the other interesting thing in this episode. We learned there's, like, a freaking human village, quote-unquote, where it's, like, a town where people used to take up residence back in the day. And it's like, at some point the humans abandoned it. And it's like, oh, Digimon can't go there. It's forbidden. It's desecrated.
It's a big mansion hanging upside down from a cliff, but when you go inside, everything's right side up.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, is very digital world.
It really is. Like, really either way, whether it's upside down or not, it'd be very digital world.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what, actually, now that I think about it, I appreciate this, because, like, we saw the sideways buildings in, like, freaking Frontier. This is, like, basically taking the idea and doing something different, because the inside is also reversed. So it's, like, a reverse of a reverse. But yeah, they go there and they're attacked by Blossomon, and wouldn't you know it, they have one lead on a computer and Blossomon destroys it. Ah, that's just a shame. Now we'll never know what.
There is something I like about Blossomon, and it's that they're clearly doing like the anime pretty boy thing with him because he's a flower, but he's still just like a monster flower thing. I don't know. I just think it's funny for him to have that personality trait.
Yeah, all that there's a little scene where it's like Blossomon throws the flower shurikens and like blows up the computer, and Toma's like, damn it, you destroyed our one clue to like finding Masaru's dad or whatever, and Blossomon's like, oh good.
He's like, oh, too bad, huh?
Yeah, he's like so into it. He's like, you know what? Good, I don't care. Good on ya.
Get wrecked, idiots.
You deserve it. Yeah, so they have their whole like moment where it's like they find the cure, and like Masaru's like, oh hey Falcomon, don't worry about us, just run, get out of here, get to the people who are sick. And Falcomon's like, wait, but what if I use on a Kudo and don't save your friend? And Masaru's like, you wouldn't do that because listen, Falcomon, you're a man. You got the soul of a real man in you. I can feel it.
Yeah, the man helps his friends or whatever.
A real man helps the weak, and they don't leave their friends behind. Apparently that's good enough because Falcomon gives it to Yoshino first.
Yeah. Hey, Masaru has a very infectious personality.
I really love how much Masaru and Agumon are just the biggest goober idiots who just spout nonsense, but it kind of works. They're just so into the bit, and everyone around them's like, sure, why not? Oh, man. There's a point where, like, Agumon's trying to figure out what a virus is, and, Galmon's trying to explain the concept of, like, death to him. And, Agumon's like, oh, is that where you won't be able to eat eggs anymore? And, Galmon's like, no, it's more than that. You won't be able to do anything. And Agumon's like, but how are we gonna make it so Yoshino can eat fried eggs?
Yeah, Agumon is stupid. Agumon is very stupid.
Agumon is not a smart boy. I should mention, for an episode where one of their comrades' lives are in danger, they played this very goofy for a lot of it. There's a lot of comic relief in this episode.
Yeah, there's a lot of goofball crap in this episode.
This is like on the polar opposite end of the spectrum of like the episode where Kari gets sick and everyone's freaking out and snapping at each other because they're like, no, don't you understand? Kari could die.
Yeah, and then this episode we cut to Masaru and Agumon having a splash fight.
Yeah. They have their whole goofy splash fight in the lake, and then Toma just walks up like, oh, you seem like you're not, like, that busy. And they're like,
Womp womp.
Just sad trombone, or goofy trombone, or whatever. Why'd I say sad trombone? But yeah. The sad To
be fair, Masaru went to the river to collect water for Yoshino.
Yeah.
Agumon's the one who was screwing around.
Oh, man. I love these idiots.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't, I say that, but it doesn't take much for Masaru to get dragged into it, and he's like, all, like, splashing back at him.
Yeah, I feel like so far Frontier is like, it's not quite as up there as like Try
Savers.
by far. Yeah, Savers, yeah. It's not quite as up there as like Try, and I don't think it's like as up there for me as like Frontier, but it's more up there than I was expecting it to be. Like, so far I've been really enjoying this.
Yeah. Wait, you're saying it's not as good as Try?
Sorry, not Tri-Tamers. I'm
Okay,
mixing
I
my
was
words up horribly. It's
I was
like,
so confused. It's like all the trash talk we've put on
fuck,
Try, and you think it's better than this?
that'd be weird if I'm like, oh man, I love freaking Digimon Data Squad. It's so good. Oh, it's not as good as Try though. Ha ha ha. But no, it's like for me, it's like Tamers at the top, and like I feel like I'd put Frontier right under that, and then like Adventure like around the same point, like basically neck and neck, and then like this below that, and maybe like O2 freaking like Ghost Game below O2 feels harsh, but yeah, and then Try. I feel like that's my listing so far. Because as much as I was screwing about O2, at least it did have really interesting ideas and stuff actually happened.
02 was all right until the stupid crap at the end of it.
Yeah, it was alright, and then it got really dumb, and then it just kept getting dumber.
Am I crazy for thinking that the Digimon Emperor arc is probably the best part of that series?
It absolutely was the best part.
Okay.
Like, as much as I love Arcanemon, Mummymon, yeah, no, the Digimon Emperor is just such a good antagonist. Like,
Yeah.
pacing aside, that was great. And Black War Gron was good, but kind of like, I don't know. I was into Black War Gron on rewatch, you know? I feel like it was like trying to bite off more than it could chew, and it wasn't really giving me enough to make it work.
I still like the heart-to-heart talk Agumon and Black War Greymon have.
That's a good moment. I really do like that. Where it's like Black Orgron's trying to get really existential and deep, and he's like, but what's my purpose? You know, he's like, what do I exist for? What can I do? And Ogron's like, no, find something you like, I guess. You like food? I like food. Maybe you should try eating some, like, cupcakes or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is bigger than anything I've ever had to tackle.
Yeah, maybe instead of being evil, try eating a cookie. How fun would it be if Black Orgron actually took that advice and he's like, oh, heck yeah, these cake things are awesome. I'm gonna do this now. He just opens a bakery.
Heck yeah.
He's like, where's that fan fiction where Blackmore Greymon's questioning his life purpose, and he just starts up like some like normal like pedestrian like mainstream business of some kind, like some kind of shop, and it's like, yo, what? And that's just his deal now.
Yeah, I mean, Digimon World is full of that, where it's just like this Digimon walks into the city and it's like, I'm gonna open this business. It's like, all right.
I think Digimon World Next Order might have some of the best of these because they just include freaking megas. Nice. So it's like, oh hey, we're recruiting Seraphimon. What can we do with him? And he just opens up like the good restaurant.
Nice. Yeah, I like that Greymon joins your city and he's like, yeah, I make tents and repair tents.
Yeah. I like the one where you just straight up recruit Piedmon, and he's like, oh, I can just do experiments on your Digimon if you want, but I can't guarantee what'll happen. And it's like, you know, weird like bonuses and like, you know, like just freaking like, you know, risk reward stuff. Like he'll like raise stats and crap at random or like lower things. Freaking Edamon starts a freaking stock market.
Oh no.
You just buy items and the price of those item shares change every single day. And you can like sell them back to him for higher prices. So it's like, yeah, just buy your stock for like this thing and then just, wait a week and come back and just sell it for twice as much. Oh, man. But yeah, everyone just sort of beats Blossomon and they have a cool fight where both the Ultimates team up against them, and it's just a nice little moment.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like this was short. Is there anything else we really want to talk about with this? I feel like it's very straightforward and to the point.
Nah, that's pretty much all that happens. They fight Blossomon, they go ultimate, they beat up Blossomon, and they win. Yoshino's okay now.
Yeah.
In the end of the episode, Izukudo and Falcomon like, oh, but the humans, they killed Frigimon. That will make them pay. But it's like, yeah, I know. And then they leave.
We sure will make them pay. Somehow. Somehow.